Okay. So for partial derivatives, we need to think about the reason why we have partial derivatives. Right? Because normally we have derivatives from what I taught you guys so far, we have derivatives, right? And now we move to partial derivatives. So what is the reasons? From chapter 1 to chapter 4, we have a function, right? Y could be a functions of x only. So here we have only one independent variable. Right, only one. Okay. And of course, another one is dependent variable. Right. So for this case, we can take derivative dy by dx only, right? Or the second derivatives dy square, dx square, the second derivatives. So y by x. However, when we move further for economics, business, finance, BA, whatever, we will have y is a function of, let's take here we have a z, when we have a function of x, of y, lambda, theta. Okay. This means here still one dependent variable. However, on the right hand side, independent variable here, we will have multiple or many independent variable. Right. So we have more than one, right? In this case, that is why here, if you take only derivatives, it's quite difficult because you will ignore other. So that is why we have partial derivatives, right? All right, partial derivatives. This means we take partial derivatives with respect to one variable, then and fix other variable, or let them equal to constant, let them constant. Fix other variable. Okay. Right. So that is the way by web partial derivatives. Right? So for partial derivatives, for partial derivatives, we will have because first we will have dz by dx. If here we have a z, let's say for the most simple case, a function of two variables only, right? And y is fixed. Right? Then we have dz with respect to dy, and x is fixed, right? Here we have with respect to x, here with respect to y. Okay? However, for this is the first order. However, for the second order derivatives, we will have this one you can make this fx, denote at fx, denote at fy. So we will have dz dx fxx, right? Then we have fyy fx y, then f yx. Following Young theorems, we will have fxy equal to fyx. Okay. All right. So now, in chapter 5, we apply this one. So you will apply.
Cái vé là vậy em đi.
Let me see how to mute all of you.
Anh Hiền, anh có đôi dép không? Anh có dép không? Anh có dép không? Cho em mượn được không? Đôi nào vậy?
Can you just turn off the microphone, please? How to mute on?
Có rất là nhiều người không hiểu tại sao mà vợ đi rất là trân quý và chẳng có.
Okay. Guys, you need to, what should I say? You guys need to turn off on microphones. Even I mute. You only turn it on when you have something to say. Okay. Where am I? Okay. So in previous lessons, we applied the partial derivatives. The partial derivatives into what? Into solving the constraint, solving the optimizations problem. In chapter 5. So apply the partial derivatives into solving the optimization problems. And for this problem, you have two main types: constraints, optimizations, right? And then unconstrained optimizations. Okay, unconstrained optimization. So for constraint optimizations, you will have to consider for fx, fy, and phi them is equal to 0. And from here, you find stationary point, right? Stationary point. Then check for fxx, fxy, fyy. Fyx will be the same with fxy, right? But anyway, I can put here fyx. Right. So we do have the criteria to see whether they are saddle boys, whether this stationary could be a maximum or minimum point. So go back and check for the criteria by yourself. For unconstrained optimizations, oh sorry, this one is for unconstrained optimizations. Both of them need to check this. Here, check for this one, and then check the criteria. Yeah. For constraint optimizations, why it become constraint optimizations? So, in real life, or in practice, we see that the resources are limited, right? So, in fact, the unconstrained optimization is almost impossible. Okay? So, unconstrained is almost impossible. Right? Okay. So that's why we need to solve the problem with constraint optimizations. It could be the case that you have a budget for consuming. Let's say you have a budget of $1,000 per month to consume for food, for electricity, maybe for other necessaries demand as well. So total you have only 1,000. It is a constraint. Your job is you optimize the utility functions, your own utility. Let's say here could be about happiness, subject to just constraints. So for constraint optimizations, to solve problems, is also need to check for the first and the second order derivatives, right? The first and the second order derivatives. However, you have two ways. If it is linear constraint, is easier relationship. Or linear constraint functions, it could be function here is better. Right. So you can make it, you can transfer it into a function of one variables, right? However, if the function of constraint is non-linear, it becomes a little bit more complicated. So you can use Lagrange, right? Lagrange multiplier. Lambda, right? So you will inject new functions, gxy, fxy plus lambda multiplied with m minus phi xy, phi xy, in which we have the constraints. Problem is phi xy. Phi xy is equal to m, the constraint functions. Okay. All right. I think it's just enough for summarize the summaries of what we have learned so far in chapter 5. Okay. So now we move to chapter 6. Integrations. Integrations. Integration. Vietnamese called Nguyen Ham. So we have some equations that you guys can remember for the integrations. However, the best way to solve the integration problem is you guys need to master and really understand about the way to derivative, right? The way to differentiate. So integrations, we come with the first one is indefinite integrations. So indefinite integrations is mean these integrations is from negative indefinite to positive indefinite. We do not know. Right? So before we move further with integrations, let's hear about the differentiate first. So for example, here we have a functions kept the f of x equal to x power 3, and this one how we differentiate it. But we have x n is equal to n minus x n minus 1 multiplied with x. Here, this one is equal to 1, right? Right. So here we will have 3 x 2. Right, 3 x 2. Right. So if we denote this one as fx, so it means fx here equal to fx. Right. So integrations, each is the way that you find inverse ones compared with the differentiations. Right? So if we know about the derivatives functions, if we know about derivatives, now we need to know phi fx, phi the initial functions, the base function, right? So this one is the way to integrate things. Right? So to get x power 7, right? This one is will be equal to, if here, remember, look at here. So from this one to find this one, right? So you will have x n minus 1 is equal to x n divided by n, right? Right? From here. Right. So therefore, if fx equal to x equal to x7, so n here is equal to 7. Sorry, n minus 1 is equal to 7. Therefore, fx is need to be x n minus 1 plus 1, right? N minus 1 plus 1. Here is n divided by n minus 1 plus 1. So it will be equal to x power 7 plus 1 divided by 7 plus 1. It will be x power 8 divided by 8, right? Here. Okay. So that is, this is a way for you to understand how to find integrations. Of course, to help students to reduce the time to remember and to make things become simple, we will have some equations to define or to find the integration. Okay. So integration, it will be the inverse of the differentiation, right? Integrations. Okay. Inverse. So the initial function is going to be the antiderivatives or the prime derivative or integral. So we will have fx will be integral into integral. This one is the most common one. Or they can use another word is antiderivatives. So integral is the most common name to call for fx, right? Primitive. Okay. Integral of f of x d derivative x. So it's quite difficult to call, right? So here, basically, the integrations right, are find the integral. Here, for example, here. So here will be integral fx. This one is small fx. Okay. Again, here capital fx. Small fx. So now let's say maybe for the case of 4x 5 dx. find fx. Okay, so for this case, you can take 4 outside x5 dx, right? Okay. How about fx here? Multiply with x power 6 divided by 6, right? Okay. But this is enough. Yeah. Find 2x dx. So again, you can make it 2 here, x dx here, right? So 2 multiply with here xn here, so it needs to be xn plus 1 divided by n plus 1. If you consider here n here is equal to 1, right? Therefore, we will have 2 x1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1, so it will be x power 2, right, or x squared, right? Okay. So when we take derivatives x squared, derivatives is going to equal 2x, right? 2x here. But if I have here x squared plus maybe c here is constant, fixed and constant, fixed or constant. Let's say for the case fx. So when I take f derivative of fx, we will have 2x plus 0 is equal to 2x. Right. So you see here, This one will be equal in terms of differentiation, right? So, therefore, if you want to take here, you should take these forms as the general forms for integration. You see? So accurately, you should add a constant or a fixed number. C after the function you found the integral you found. Right? Because this one's when you take equal to 0. Right? C here is constant and fixed compared to x. Okay. So C is constant of integration. So fx is any function that differentiates to fx. Capital Fx is any function that differentiates to small fx. Then so there's here fx plus c. That equal to the indefinite integrations of fx dx. Okay. So this is the first formula that you need to remember. Okay. Maybe now, let's say for the case A x 4 So if a constant multiply with a function of x, so you can put constant outside, right? X 1, 2 dx. Okay. Fx A multiply with fx plus c. Right? How this one? a on 2 plus 1 divided by on 2 plus 1, right? So a multiply with 2, 3 x power 2, 3, 2 plus c, in which this one's a constant. You can take it at any values, right? This one's also constant. Could be equal to 1, could be equal to 100,000. All right. So here we have these ones I already give you guys, right? Xn dx equal to xn plus 1 divided by 1 plus n plus 1 plus c. C a constant. If you have a here, if you have a is constants of xn dx, it could be a multiplied with 1 plus n plus 1 multiplied with xn plus 1 plus c. Okay. Okay. So that is the second equation you need to remember. Okay, right? Can you do it by yourselves? Don't look at the book. Right? Just apply the equation here. Note down the equations, or maybe even you do not want to take down or to take note the equations, the formula here. You also can do it by yourself. Find the integrations. Yeah. Find the fx. We spend around 10 minutes to practice this exercise. Then I will help you to solve it. Then we stop. Then we stop. I stop here, I mean for break. Only for this ones, remember e power x derivatives. If we differentiate, e power x is will be equal to ex. But if E, let's say power U by X, so here is going to be equal to E power U by X here multiply with U by X. Okay. This one's it need to be n is different with -1, right? Because here this ones cannot be equal to 0, so n need to different with -1. If n equal to -1, then we will have x minus 1 dx. This one is going to be equal to natural logarithm of absolute value of x plus c. Okay. Yeah. For example, here if E for E is okay, try to show it by yourself, guys. This one's I already did it, right? The 2, 3, x 3, 2 plus c. This one I already did. So for this case, we will have here you take equal to x minus 2, right? Dx, right? So you will have minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1, right? Plus c. So it will be minus x minus 1 plus c equal to minus 1 divided by x plus c, right? C here is constant. Could be anything. Sorry, it could be any number. Or it could be any number, negative or positive. Or equal to 0. Okay? Again, for this one is equal to x plus 1 divided by 6 plus 1 plus c, right? So power 7 plus 6, right? For this case, we will have 2x dx. Here you consider ux here is equal to 2x, right? So this one applies equations. So it will be e power ux, so e2x, right? Right? Multiply with sorry, here is need to be divided by ux square, right? Because here, right, derivative will be ux plus c, so it's going to be e2x divided by 2, right, plus c. Okay. Okay. So here we have f of e, let's say mx here, it will be, then you can find fx is equal to emx divided by m plus c. Okay. Now d is not multiplied with 2. As I says here, when we take derivatives, if this one's you take derivatives, so it's equal to this. So therefore, if you want to find fx, you need to take emx divided by m plus c. Right. Let's see here for the case. F is equal to EMX divided by M. So if you take the F derivative of F here, it will be equal to 1 plus M multiplied with EMX multiplied with MX. Derivative is will be equal to M, right? You will take MX derivative here. C, so it will be multiplied with EMX multiplied with M, right? Plus C. So this one is equal to EMX. Sorry, here, not C here. C here. Plus here is will be 0. Here is 0. Here plus 0, right? Here plus 0. So it's equal to EMX, right? So therefore, F here is equal to EMX divided by M plus C. Okay. Okay. For question is, if question E, if you apply the equations, okay, let's say put 2 here, 1x dx. If you apply the equations, if you apply the equations here, it will be 2 multiplied with this one is equal to x minus 1, right? If apply here is x minus 1 plus 1 divided minus 1 plus 1. Cannot try because it will be equal to 1 divided by 0. Impossible, right? We cannot find the solutions, right? So here is not the case. You need to apply these equations. Right? So therefore here is going to be equal to 2 multiplied with logarithm of x plus c. Okay. Here we have fx here. Okay. I think here I have solution is clearer for you to see. So this one I think is not a problem, right? Not a problem, not a problem. Just look at here. Right? So here will be the case. E2x divided by 2. Right? E2x divided by 2 plus c. E2x divided by 2 plus c. And the last ones I gave you guys, right? Logarithm. Okay. Okay, Chup, now you see why this one is divided by 2, okay? Because as I said, if EUX, it will be equal to EUX, sorry, this one, if we take the derivative here, multiply with okay. So if you want to take fx here, if here is fx, this one need to be EUX divided by x here. And UX here, U of x here is equal to mx, right? Therefore, U of x here is equal to m, okay? Put it here is equal to m, so you will have EMX divided by m plus c, okay? This one. Is this okay? Okay, guys. If you do not have any questions, we will stop for a break. 15 minutes break. Right? Okay, guys. We continue our lesson. Okay. So here, try to find E3 plus 7, E4H minus 6H. So here, right, you will have E3x plus 7, right? Here will be 3, right? 3, right? Because 3x plus 7 equal to 3, right? Plus c, and here again you will have E4x minus 6 divided by 4 plus c. So we can make a general formula. Here is Rx plus c dx is equal to Ex plus c a plus c. Okay. For indefinite integrations or different integrations, if we have a sum of two functions, so when we conduct the integrations of the function of the sum. So you will take the integration separately and add up or subtract. So here is also another one. It will be AFX minus BGX dx here. AFX dx plus, minus B dx dx. Right? Okay. So a functions of sums or function of difference, it will be equal to the sum of separate functions or the difference of separate functions. Okay. So evens. Last time we have here like 3x. That's okay. We moved to do some exercise here. So here a difference, right? Here is a sum. Okay. So here if you consider here as here gx, right? So maybe fx, gx, fx, gx. For this case, it will be three function fx, gx, maybe yx. Okay. Okay. Can you do it? Just do it by yourselves, right? So here I just happy to do the first equation. Right? So here is going to be equal to 2x squared dx minus 5 dx, right? So here is 2. This one is going to be x n plus 1. So n plus 1 is 3 divided by n plus 1 is 3, right? Minus 4 x n plus 1 is 7 divided by n plus 1 is 7, right? Okay. And here we put a constant c. Don't forget constant c. Okay? So now, can you just do it by question B and Question C. So for D here is to get star. Oops. Okay, right. So you can do D and E to get star. So for this ones, we will have, let me see. So for B, Fx here we take 7 hours, right? And then here we have E minus X divided by minus 1, right? 2 hours, right? 2 out. So here is going to be logarithm x plus 2. Sorry, plus c, right? Because here you take 2 out, and here is 1 divided by x, so it will be logarithm. So this case we will have 5x power 3 divided by 3 plus 3 x power 2 divided by 2, right? Plus 2x power 1 divided by 1, right? Plus c. So it's going to be equal to 5 3 plus t 2 divided by 2 plus 2x plus c. Okay. So now this one. I give you 10 minutes to get bonus. Lúc nãy thầy quên mất Tuấn đã điểm danh giúp thầy chưa nhỉ? Xem nào, xem bạn Tuấn hôm nay có. Hôm nay Tuấn nghỉ mà. Thầy điểm danh nha. Thầy gọi tên bạn nào thì bạn đó bật camera lên và bảo có nha.
Ôi thầy, tự nhiên bật camera.
Nguyễn Thị Liên. Các bạn không bật camera cũng được.
Dạ có.
Trương Minh Hoàng.
Có thầy ơi, có thầy ơi.
Thành Đạt.
Có thầy ơi.
Bảo Chi.
Dạ có thầy ơi.
Bảo Phương.
Có thầy.
Ủa sao cái participant
Ủa thầy nộp bài qua chat đúng không thầy?
Đúng rồi. Cái này nó hiện cái lên. Hải Hà.
Dạ có thầy ơi.
Kim Nga, Vân Anh, Đào Thị Vân Anh, Lan Anh,
Có thầy ơi.
Nhật Trung,
Dạ có thầy ơi.
Đỗ Thị Mai, Hoàng Minh Hải Anh.
Dạ có.
Ngân Kim Hồng hay là gì á? Kim Hồng Ngân.
Dạ có.
Hoàng Thị Thanh Tâm.
Dạ có thầy ơi.
Khánh Hà.
Dạ có thầy.
Bạn Tâm có đúng nhỉ?
Dạ em là thầy.
Ok. Minh Thái, Nguyễn Lê Minh Thái.
Dạ có.
Nguyễn Huỳnh Phúc Yên.
Dạ có.
Nguyễn Võ Mai Thi. Mai Thi và Phương Nghi.
Dạ có thầy ơi.
Nguyễn Quỳnh. Quỳnh Nguyễn này, thầy thấy tên này Quỳnh Nguyễn này.
Dạ có thầy ơi. Alo thầy.
Ok, Vân Hà.
Dạ có.
Võ Quang Thạch.
Dạ có.
Vũ Ngọc Thanh Vân. Thanh Vân. Trần Hoàng Ánh Tú.
Dạ có.
Trần Mộng Thu Ngân.
Dạ có.
Ok. Còn sót bạn nào nữa thì
Dạ thầy ơi.
Dạ có em thầy ơi.
Em thầy ơi.
Thầy ơi, con nữa. Em nói con thầy ơi.
nhưng thầy chỉ điểm danh vậy thôi, còn những bạn còn lại thì coi như là có mặt.
Có thầy ơi.
Không sao nha, thầy điểm danh vậy rồi, còn những bạn còn lại thì coi như là có mặt nha.
Tiếng. Ủa sao?
Bảo Chi, Như Tùng. Các bạn tranh thủ làm nốt, làm bài nha. Hiện tại mấy bạn vắng chỉ có mấy bạn này: Nga, Đào Thị Vân Anh, Đỗ Thị Mai,
Thầy ơi thầy,
Hả?
em tên Đào Thị Vân Anh nè thầy.
Thầy ơi em là Lê Huỳnh Tường Vi nè thầy.
Thầy chỉ đọc tên mấy bạn này, bạn nào đang có mặt thì báo lại nhá, còn lại những bạn còn lại thì nghiễm nhiên là có mặt rồi.
Em Nguyễn Vương Tuyết Nhi nè thầy.
Chết rồi thầy nói gì tụi em không nghe gì hết trơn thầy ơi.
Không nghe hả? Bây giờ thì đọc tên thì bây giờ còn lại bạn Nga này, Đỗ Thị Mai này, bạn Mai Thi này, bạn Vũ Ngọc Thanh Vân. 4 bạn có bạn nào có ở đấy không?
Dạ em Mai Thi có mặt thầy ơi.
Mai Thi rồi. Còn Nga, Đỗ Thị Mai và Vũ Ngọc Thanh Vân. Ok nha. Các bạn còn lại thì coi như là có mặt đầy đủ rồi nha, các bạn không phải lo. Vũ Ngọc Thanh Vân. Ok.
Thầy ơi em là Lê Huỳnh Tường Vi.
Như vậy bây giờ vắng chỉ còn bạn Nga và bạn Đỗ Thị Mai thôi ha. Đỗ Thị Mai, Mai Thi. Ủa thế là em
Dạ. Dạ thầy ơi em là Mai Thi BAVM 17195 á thầy.
ok. Vậy được rồi. Đỗ Mai Thi. Được rồi các bạn ha. Hôm nay vắng lớp trưởng thôi, thì lớp trưởng được phép vắng 3 buổi, thì hôm nay mới vắng 1 buổi thôi, nên là các bạn không cần lo cái chuyện điểm danh nữa ha. Xuân Trường. Bảo Okay. Okay, so we let me open. I think I will do it myself. So here we will have 7 e minus 3x, right, plus 2 divided by minus 3, right, plus 40 multiply with x minus 1 divided by minus 1, right, plus c. So just have a look. If I made any mistakes, tell me. Okay, guys, I think it's time's up for the exercise. For the next ones, these ones, this one is will be equal to, so it will be 3x plus 2 power 3, and then is divided by, here is going to be 1 3 multiply divided by 3, right? If we take here, let me see. So take down here, it's going to be 3 and 3 here, yeah. Plus this one is going to be on by 2 log of 2x plus 1. Okay. This one is going to be plus 2 logarithm x z plus c. Okay. Here. This is the solution. Okay. You guys can try by take derivatives. Am I right? Is correct? Let me see. Maybe let me open one view. Can you see this one from Newton? This is from Newton, I think. Oh, so you did. I think this one is correct, right? Minus 3x plus 3 minus 3 plus 2 divided by, yeah. So you should not have the second ones. Let me open. Okay, can you see it clearly from the solution here? Question C for E is a little bit more complicated, so it will be, yeah. So from this one we will have the first one added. We remember if is ax plus b power n dx. So you will have first, you need to take a outside first. Okay. Then here it will be ax plus b power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c. Right? Because it's here. If you take down here, if you take derivative this ones, you will have 1a multiplied with n plus 1 multiplied with ax plus b n divided by, here it will be n plus 1. Here you need to multiply with a as well. So finally we'll have ax plus b power n, right? Okay. That is why we have a general equation like this. Here is the proof. I proved for you. The other one is if is 1 divided by ax plus b dx, so it will be equal to 1 divided by a logarithm of ax plus b plus c. Okay, plus c. Yeah. So now we will apply integrations to the economics and business. So from before, if we know the total cost, right, and then we can take the marginal cost, right? So now we do the inverse problems. But if we know before we know this one, we knew TC and we find MC. Now we knew MC, and then we find TC. So here a firm marginal cost function is MC equal to Q power plus 2Q plus 4. Find the total cost function if the fixed costs are 100. So we have TC plus fixed cost plus Q multiplied with variable cost, right? And then if we take DTC by let's say DQ, so we will have here is 0, D fixed cost, right? Fixed cost here, remember, because it is constant of it, you can take it C, right? So it will be 0 plus MC here by Q. Okay? So therefore, from here, you are need to find MC dq equal to TC. Equal to TC. Here it should be, you can say in this way, total variable cost. It's better. Total variable cost. Right? Total variable cost. And then if it's plus C, it will be equal to total cost. Sorry, this one is not C. Sorry, C. Something's like 0. If we take this. Fixed cost. I think it's better to say in this way. Fixed cost or C. Fixed cost or C plus integration of MC DQs. Total cost. Better say in this way. Okay. So can you just spend some minutes to do it by yourself? So here, right, we will have q square plus 2q plus 4 dq, so it's going to be q3 divided by 3 plus 2q square divided by 2 plus 4q, right? 4q. So this one q's 3 plus 2q square divided by 2. Sorry. So it's plus q square and then plus 4q, then plus c, fixed cost. Fixed cost here is 100, so plus 100. It's here. C, fixed cost. So from here, we total cost is equal to fixed cost MC dq, okay? Here. This is the first applications for integrations. So here that try to show this one. Find the total revenue functions. So again, total revenue, right? So we will have MR is the total revenues by DQ, right? Therefore, we have total revenue is will be equal to integrations of MR DQ, right? So here we will have TR here will be our 10 minus 4Q DQ. So it will be equal to 10 cubes minus 4 q squared divided by, so q n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. And of course, we need to have a constant c. So 10q minus 2q squared plus c. Okay. So total revenue is here. Total revenue, the function is here. Total revenue. Here is MPC, right? MPC. Marginal propensity to consumptions. Last time we had marginal propensity to savings, marginal propensity to investment, to charity, to whatever. The sum up is equal to income, right? Okay, guys, try to show these examples by yourselves again. You need to be familiar with such kind of thing because next Tuesday we will have 1 hour quiz. Okay, quiz 2. So it will have something like that. It covers chapter 5 and chapter 6. Okay? So last time, do you remember this one? Income is equal to C plus S. I just take only two small function inside, right? So income is a function of C and S, in which C is also a function of Y and S also a function of Y. And we have dy is equal to dc by dy plus ds dy. Therefore, we will have 1 is equal to MPC plus MPS, right? Right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Right. Okay. So here for this case, we will have so we have dc and dy and pc, right? Therefore, we have c is a function of c is an integration of MPC dy. Right? So you just take it here. Right? Here. MPC is function of dc dy. Right? So you have this one, and then you have 0.5y plus 0.2 square root of y plus c. So c a function of income as well. And they said consumption is 85 when income is 100. So you substitute here. So it means C here is going to be 85 when Y here is equal to 100. From here we can find C. We substitute in C, capital C and Y inside. So we have C equal to 33. Okay. Đối với bài quiz thì các bạn sẽ làm ra giấy, viết sạch đẹp cẩn thận nha. Sau đó các bạn chụp hình, rồi các bạn sẽ upload trên Blackboard. Thầy sẽ tạo một cái folder quiz trên Blackboard hoặc là một cái folder assignment, và thời gian của nó sẽ là 60 phút. Quiz của chúng ta sẽ là 60 phút. 60 minutes. Sẽ bắt đầu từ 10 giờ 30. 10 giờ 30 hoặc là 10 giờ 45 gì đó. 10 giờ 30 hoặc là 10 giờ 45 tùy. 60 phút thì thầy sẽ để khoảng 70 phút để các em sẽ có 10 phút để upload. Nên là tất cả những bạn nào mà nộp trước nộp trễ thì sẽ bị trừ điểm nhé. Em lưu ý là tải file zip về ha. Cho đưa lên máy tính của các em, cho hết vào một folder, xong zip cái folder đấy lại, tại vì là có thể các bạn làm dài, các bạn làm 2-3 trang 4 trang, các bạn chụp hình thì nó sẽ bị lên đến 3-4 trang. Thế thì các bạn đừng có không có upload từng cái trang lẻ như thế, mà các em upload lên theo cái hình thức là theo một cái folder, để tên folder, để tên của các em, mã số sinh viên. Như vậy là sẽ create folder này with your name and student ID, full name and student ID. In this folder you put on your file, on the solutions, then zip the folder and upload S1 file. Các bạn phải chuẩn bị trước nhé. Các bạn phải chuẩn bị trước. Chứ đến bởi vì thầy cho 10 phút cho các cái vấn đề liên quan đến zip rồi là mạng mẽo các thứ rồi. Okay. We continue. Now we move to define integrations. So the first part is indefinite. Now we move to the second part, definite integrations. So indefinite, you guys see this one, we do not have about, right? We do not have about. So here is indefinite. Now we move to definite integrations. For example, here we have a functions here, x squared dx from 1 to 2. So x from 1 to 2. Here, x from 1 to 2. So the values of this 100 is going to be here. The pink areas. Yeah, right? Okay, the area here. So this one. So it's going to be, you see here, it's going to be, this area is going to be f of b here is equal to f of 2 minus f of 1, right? So we will have this area. F of 2 minus this one. If we take here f2 minus f1, for the definite here, if we take this one as A and this one as B, B greater than A, then we will have fx dx equal to, which define from A to B, this area, which are functions, yeah. So it will be equal to fb minus fa. So here we have the definite integral, the definite integral. So this equation is really important. You want it to remember. Right. Minus f of x equal to A. Okay. So I will help you to do this one. So here we need to find fx first. So the first step, find fx. The second step is substitute A and B. Substitute A and B into fx. The third part is going to be find the difference. Right. So here fx is will be equal to 3x. Right? Right. And now we will have this one is running from 2 to 6. So f of 6 is equal to 3 multiplied with 6 is 18. F of 2 is equal to 2 multiplied with, 3 multiplied with 2 is equal to 6. Therefore, equal to dx equal to 18 minus 6 is equal to 12. Right? So now can you do it for the second case? It's quite simple, right? So fx equal to 3. If we draw functions, x here, y here, y is equal to fx. Right. So here we have 3. Right. So we need to find from 2 to 6. 2 to 6. Right. So because this one is it is a space case, you also can do in this case. This one is 4, so this one is 3. So the area of this rectangular is equal to, so area of this rectangular equal to 3 multiplied with 4 equal to 12. Because this one is quite special case. Okay, this one is you see here. Why it is unchanged with x. Oh. This one, this thing, this could be, maybe it will confuse you. For the second case, right? So for the second case, we have this one, fx is equal to, you see here, first we take, so it will be x dx plus dx, right? So this one is going to be x squared divided by 2, right, plus x power 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. You can do it in this way if you confused. Otherwise, you just think it's x, right? Plus, so here x2 plus x. Then you substitute for 0 and 2 inside here to find f2 and f0. So if you substitute inside here, we will have is equal to 4. So this area is 4. Why do we need to do this thing? Why do we need to calculate the area? Because you are going to fight for the customer surplus and supplier surplus. The supplier surplus. Remember, we have demand and supply. Price and Q. S and D, this one's equilibriums. So we are going to find consumer surplus and supplier surplus. Here. So we have demand curves in this way. So if you consumes at Q0, if you consumes at Q0 here, for the price is P0. Here price P0. This one is will be the areas by demand curve. Oh God. Right. So this is what you get. Right? When you buy a Q0, you have to pay at P0. So they are saying, okay, if the price is going up, right? If the price is going up, normally the quantity you are going to buy will reduce, right? If the price is going up, the quantity is going to reduce. But they say if the price going up and you still can buy at Q0, in this case you will have this part at a surplus. At a surplus. So what they want is to find the value of this surplus. So if you look at if you look at here, the whole thing here, let's say here is A, here is B, you will have A plus B, okay, is equal to integrations of this function. Let's say here function y equal to fx. Right. So it will be function from 0 to q here of fx dx. You see here, A plus B will be integrations, definite integration from from 0 to q0 of fx dx. Okay. Then for A, it is consumer surplus. Will be equal to integrations from 0 q0 fx dx minus b. B here is going to be equal to a rectangular, so it's going to be P0 multiplied with Q0. Okay. So remember, as I said before, for the consumer surplus, A equal to defines integrations here of F here. Actually, will be Q dQ minus P0 Q0. So here Q0 is equal to 5. This one is going to be Q0 equal to 5. Then we will have P0 is our chain is here. 30 minus 4 multiplied with 5 is going to be equal to 10, right? So now what you have to do is need to find Q0 is 5 30 minus 4 Q dQ. Okay. So what you need is to find this one, right? So we will have, so f of q here will be equal to 30q minus 4q square divided by 2, right? So we'll have 30q minus 2q square okay. Then here we will have fq integrations from 0 to 5 is equal to f5 minus f0 and equal to 30 multiplied with 5 minus 2 multiplied with 5 square, and f0 is absolutely equal to 0, right? F0, because q is 0, q2 is 0, so it's 0. So it will be 150 minus 50 is equal to 100. And now we have P0 multiplied with Q0 is equal to 5 multiplied with 10, so it's equal to 50. So finally we have A, or consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is equal to 100 minus 50 is equal to 50. Any questions? Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. So it's here. Solution here is 50 as well. Okay. So now we try to do another exercise. Let's say P equal to 4Q minus Q square find the consumer surplus CS. Okay, denote as CS. Here is CS, consumer surplus. Find CS at Q equal to 5. Maybe you can do it at homes, or maybe you can spend 5 minutes to do it. I think you can do it at home, because the time is we do not have enough time now. No break. We try to finish at 11:40, and then we stop. Okay. So just remember, for CS consumer surplus, it will be equal to 0 at Q0. Right? Q0 maybe, let's say, is equal to A. So here is A. Will be definite. It will be definite integrations. Here is fx. FQ dq minus P0 Q0. FQ here is will be demand functions. Okay. So this is way for you to find the consumer surplus. And it is applications of integrations. You will see it clearer when you learn microeconomics. Okay. So before we have demand curves like this, right? Demand curves like this, right? Before we have demand curves like this, right? But now we move to supply curves. So supply curves, they also have supplier or producer surplus. PS. PS. So if you guys see here, when the price is at P0, right? So you are going to produce a Q0. So you are at this curve, right? Right, P here. So it's following the curve is going to be here. However, when the price is going down to maybe here is P1, right? But you still produce and can sell at Q0. So in this case, the total area here is what you get. However, this one is going to be the producer surplus. Producer surplus. Okay, because in fact, what you get should be this area. What you get should be this area. So for producer surplus, PS is will be equal to P0 Q0 minus what? Is will be minus the integrations of from here, this part, from 0 to Q0 of F's Q here dq, in which Q here is will be the supply function or supply functions. Okay? So you see, for consumer surplus, it will be the inverse. The way to calculate will be the inverse, right? Consumer surplus with CS is going to be equal to 0 Q0 FQ dq but here is demand functions. Minus P0 Q0 here. Here, right? The formula of consumer surplus is here. Okay. So P0 multiplied Q0 is going to be, let's say here is A, here is B plus A. So B here, this one is B. So B need to be the whole part A plus B, right? Minus this. Okay. Minus this part. Integration here. 0 Q0 Q dq. Here equal to this. Okay. Okay. So these examples, it will be little bit more difficult compared to the previous functions. They give the demand function P equal to 35 minus Q 2D and supply function P equal to 3 plus Q double Q power 2 QS. Here Q demand, here QS. Find the producer surplus. Assuming pure competitions. When I say pure competition, it means the market is efficient, and here the market will determine the price. And we will have equilibriums. Okay. It means here we equilibrium. What does this mean by equilibrium? When equilibrium is mean demands will meet supply. The market is always at equilibrium. So you can find P0 and Q0 from equilibrium point. So in this part, you will have 35 minus QD2 equal to 3 plus QS2 and QD plus QS, QD equal to QS and equal to Q star, or maybe let's say Q0 here. Okay. So 2Q0 is equal to 32. So Q0 square equal to 16. Therefore, Q0 equal to positive and negative 4. But remember, Q is quantitative. It's always greater than 0. Then we have only one is Q is equal to 4. Right? And you substitute inside here with Q equal to 4. Then where P is equal to 39 minus 16, and then it's equal to 19, right? Yeah. Demand, supplies, they meet up here. Meet up at Q. Q here is 4. The price here will be 19. Okay. So producer surplus, it will be equal to P0 multiplied with Q0 minus from 0 to Q0 F of QS DQ, right? So we will have 4 multiplied with 19 minus minus here supply function is here, so fx here is equal to 3q plus q3 divided by 3, right? So minus here is going to be 0. We have both q here, so f0 is 0. So we only need to find the minus f of q0. Right, q0 equal to 4 minus f of q0 equal to 0. Right. So you substitute q equal to 4 in here. In the integrations of subtype functions, so we will have 76 minus, I don't know, minus something. Let me see the final result here. They already calculated. Yeah, it's here. And I said this one is 0, right? This one user substitutes 4 inside, right? 3q plus q power 3 divided by 3. So when you substitute, you will have the final result is around 42 power 23. Okay. Because this one is equal to 15 multiplied with 4 plus 1 3 multiplied with 4 power 3. Then here they find the results. Okay. Or you can use the calculator to find the exact results. Okay. So supply curves. This is will be producer surplus. Right here, this part. This one will be producer surplus. Yes. If you look here, this part will be consumer surplus. So this one is consumer surplus. Okay. This part is producer surplus. For investment flow and discounting, okay, I'm not going to give it in quiz 1. So maybe I will mention it in, I will spend 10 minutes for investment flows and discounting next Monday. So you guys just have a look. Okay? Just have a look before I go back on Monday. All right. So far we learned For today's lessons about integration, right? Okay. So for integration, we have two parts. Finite integrations. Definite. Definite integrations. So finite, we don't have about. Definite, we will have about, right? Maybe from A to B here. For function of fx dx, here is fx dx. Okay. For this part, you will have equal to f of b minus f a. If fx is greater than 0 and b greater than a, okay, and we have f of x, derivative of fx will be equal to fx. For the applications here, is to find the inverse functions, inverse functions, or should I say inverse functions? It is an inverse differentiations. So we have inverse functions in here. I'm just wondering about the inverse function here. But for economics and business applications, so if from marginal functions, cost, marginal revenues, from here you can find the integral, I think, integral, to find the integral. For example, from MPC you can find a function of C, MPS you can find S. From MC you can find the total cost. From marginal revenue you can find the total revenues. Okay. For the definite integrations, nguyên hàm của giới hạn. So you guys can find it is applied to find CS and PS, consumer surplus. And here producer surplus. Okay, producer surplus. Thế thì ở đây các bạn phải hiểu được cái consumer surplus và producer surplus. Consumer surplus. This is demands. So this is CS. Okay. Supplies. PS. Okay. This part is going to be from 0 to Q0, 0 to Q0, P by QS, okay? DQ. The whole part mode. Sorry. Toàn bộ cái phần thầy lại xóa mất rồi, bây giờ cái này không biết là làm nào để quay lại. Toàn bộ cái phần dưới của cái hàm đi này nó chính là integral của cái demand function. Và chúng ta phải biết cách như vậy là đối với demand, đối với consumer surplus thì sẽ lấy integral trừ đi cái P0 nhân với Q0. Producer surplus thì sẽ ngược lại, lấy P0 nhân Q0 trừ đi cái integral của cái supply function. Như vậy chúng ta sẽ có producer surplus and consumer surplus. Okay.
Thầy ơi, thầy tắt tiếng rồi thì phải thầy ạ.
Thầy nói lại ha. Ở đây thì vậy cái chúng ta đây là cái đồ thị này là demand ha. Đồ thị này là demand này. Demand. Thế thì tất cả cái phần ở đây trong như hình vẽ đây là O, A, B, D. Tất cả những cái phần này toàn bộ thì đây nó chính là những cái phần này toàn bộ. Cái phần diện tích này nó chính là cái phần integration từ 0 đến Q, definite integration từ 0 đến Q0 của cái bên trong cái hàm này chính là demand function theo Q. Nhưng mà cái phần diện tích hình vuông này nó là cái giá trị mà thực tế theo cái demand này, cái giá trị xứng đáng được hưởng của khách hàng. Chỉ có cái phần hình tam giác, gần như hình tam giác này thôi, thì nó mới là cái phần thặng dư ra mà khách hàng được hưởng, thì nó chính là CS ở đây. Thế thì CS ở đây thì nó sẽ bằng tổng cái diện tích này trừ đi cái hình chữ nhật, đúng không? Như vậy là trừ đi hình chữ nhật thì nó bằng P0 nhân Q0. P0 trừ 0 thì chính là P0, Q0 trừ đi 0 chính là Q0. Như vậy diện tích hình chữ nhật này thì nó chính là trừ đi P0 nhân Q0. Thì đây chính là cái công thức tính của consumer surplus. Và đây phần này chính là consumer surplus, chính là đây trong này người ta đã vẽ bằng cái hình màu hồng đây rồi. Okay. Hàm supply thì nó ngược lại. Hàm cung thì nó ngược lại. Không, đây là Q, đây là P. Hàm cung thì khi mà giá tăng thì cung tăng, đúng không? Giả sử tại đây P0 Q0. Ở đây thì các em thấy đây là hàm supply. Cái phần này nó chính là cái giá trị thực tế mà nhà cung ứng sẽ được hưởng. Tuy nhiên là nếu như mà ở cái Q0 này mà giá vẫn là P0 này thì như vậy là tổng toàn bộ cái giá trị ở đây thì nó sẽ là hình chữ nhật này. Như vậy là tại Q0 thì em sẽ có tổng cái giá trị nó là tại hình chữ nhật này. Thì như vậy nếu như mà người ta vẫn bán được cái P0 tại cái almost này, thì lúc này thì cái phần lệch này nó sẽ là cái phần này chính là producer surplus. Producer surplus. Okay. Thế để tính cái producer surplus này thì chúng ta tính như nào? Thì em sẽ lấy tổng cái diện tích của cái hình chữ nhật này là P0 nhân với Q0. Còn cái phần bên dưới này ở đây nó chính là definite integration từ 0 đến Q0 của cái hàm supply. Hàm supply là P by QS nhân với DQ. Ok. Thế như vậy là em sẽ lấy tổng diện tích của cái này trừ đi cái này. Trừ đi này thì em sẽ ra được cái phần PS. DQS DQS DQ. Cho nên là P của QS chính là cái này ha. Đây là hàm, này là hàm supply. Cái giá trị bên trong này là chính là hàm supply. Ok. Thì như vậy nếu như kết hợp cả hai cái này lại vẽ trên cái hình này thì các em sẽ thấy ở đây các em sẽ thấy cái này là demand, này là supply, ở đây là Q0, đây là P0. Thế thì cái phần này chính là PS, phần này chính là CS. Okay. Tuy nhiên là lúc mà thầy hỏi là sẽ hỏi từng cái một thôi, PS và CS riêng, sẽ không bắt các bạn phải gộp như này. Nếu như mà lỡ mà có web này thì nó chỉ là một cái câu nhỏ 5 điểm để đánh giá thôi. Các bạn có hỏi cái gì khác không? Như vậy là cái buổi học hôm nay quan trọng nhất là phải biết được cái cách tính nguyên hàm. Có một số cái công thức thầy đã đưa lúc nãy rồi, thì các em có thể ghi, ngoài ra thì các bạn có thể lên internet lấy các cái công thức nguyên hàm cơ bản đưa về, nốt nó lại để nhìn vào đấy thì làm cho nó nhanh. Còn mình hiểu thì mình vẫn làm được, nhưng mà nhìn công thức trực tiếp thì nó sẽ nhanh hơn. Thế thì phải luyện tập một tí để cho biết cái cách tính nguyên hàm, chứ nếu không mà các em mà bối rối mà tính sai nguyên hàm là sai hết. Cái phần sau investment này thì buổi sau thầy sẽ nói investment flow, thầy sẽ nói một chút investment flow với cả cái discounting này thì thầy sẽ nói một chút, bởi vì nó cũng đơn giản thôi, nó cũng không có gì cả. Như vậy Q thì sẽ bao gồm chương 5 và chương 6 đến consumer and producer surplus. Ok. Các bạn có hỏi vấn đề gì nữa không? Các bạn đăng ký hết buổi với cả tutor rồi đúng không? Thì có gì thứ bảy ngày thứ bảy thì bạn Tú và bạn Triều sẽ hỗ trợ thêm cho các em. Có vấn đề gì hỏi thì có thể hỏi thêm các bạn. Chịu khó practice trong sách, bài tập trong sách, các problem thì thi cuối kỳ vào quiz thì sẽ cũng dựa vào các bài tập trong sách. Thầy sẽ thay đổi thôi, thay đổi số. Làm quiz thì sẽ vào ngày thứ 3 tuần sau. Quiz thì chúng ta sẽ vào ngày thứ 3 tuần sau. Thứ 3 tuần sau thầy xem là ngày mùng mấy nữa. Thứ 3 tuần sau sẽ là ngày 11 tháng 8. Quiz 2. Phải nhắc lại một lần để các bạn nhớ này là 60 phút cộng thêm với 10 phút để nộp bài là thành 70 phút nha. Nộp bài thì nộp theo folder ghi đầy đủ tên cộng mã sinh viên tất cả các file gộp trong một folder zip. Mỗi một bạn chỉ nộp đúng một cái file thôi. Zip nó lại. Các em có thể viết ra giấy xong chụp hình xong mới đưa vào một cái folder rồi upload lên Blackboard. Nó sẽ là thầy sẽ tạo trên Blackboard, tạo assignment trên Blackboard và sẽ upload trực tiếp ngay trên đó. Các bạn xem và chuẩn bị trước WinZip tất cả các thứ nha. Sau trễ hạn thì các bạn sẽ bị trừ điểm. 60 phút và có 10 phút để nộp bài.
Ok. Ủa thầy, cái cách nộp bài là mình chụp bài làm của mình trên giấy rồi mình ép nó qua file zip rồi mình nộp trên Blackboard đúng không thầy?
Đúng rồi, làm như thế cho nó nhanh chứ các em mà gõ trên máy thì đến bao giờ?
Dạ vâng.
Nha. Thì các bạn cho vào một folder xong rồi các bạn zip nó lại, bởi vì thường bài 60 phút thì chắc là các em sẽ phải làm đến 2 tờ. Một tờ sợ không có đủ, thế thì có thể là nhiều bạn chụp làm nào để thầy nhìn cho nó rõ. Bài quiz thì thầy nói rồi là nó sẽ dựa theo các bài trên slide và một vài bài trong sách chỉ có chương 2 đó, các practice problem á, thì thầy sẽ đổi lại một số liên quan đến số và function thôi. Thì miễn là các bạn chịu khó practice trong sách đó, thầy sẽ không thêm không bớt gì cả. Đấy. Các bạn cần hỏi gì nữa không? Có vấn đề gì không? Cái bắt buộc phải luyện tập thôi chứ cũng không có cách nào khác.
Thầy có đăng cái recording lên Blackboard thầy?
Để chắc là thầy sẽ đăng cái recording lên.